Okay, we're back. Good morning, I say. And we're back. They completed a long rest, I think. I'm just continuing to head north. Normally a party would probably go back to town to get rewards and supplies and stuff, but I'm just trying to kind of beeline my way through this. Like I said, it's just practice for me more than anything else. And advice for you, of course. So we'll copy the team here, and then we will continue on to the wreck of the Compass Rose. Doink. They get there instantly. After they long rest, they wake up outside of it. How did that happen? Just paste them. Here, God. Wow. I'm really big again. We have to shrink down again. Good thing we just have this ability. Look. It's so weird that, like, these maps are made for tiny people for some reason. Alright. Let's read a thing, probably. This is such an easy campaign to run. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I'm starting DM tips at the beginning. Or something like general DM tips. Well, my general DM tip for the day, I'll try to keep it short, is just that trying to railroad people or be a bully in general. Being a bully DM means that you kind of force people to do what you want them to instead of letting them do what they want, which a lot of new DMs can kind of fall into pretty easily because everything seems so overwhelming and you're just like, I didn't practice for that, so do this like I wanted you to, you know? I practiced for this or something. Don't ever do that. Just improv. Learn to improv. That's my advice for that. Another like side tip is don't be a doormat either, you know, just let your players walk all over you. And that means learning to being able to say no and put your foot down and be like, no, that stupid thing you just did killed your character. You know, always think that everything the player characters do has real world consequences, and you should think about what those consequences should be as they do it. So don't force your players. Also, you gotta be kind of a jerk sometimes, I guess. So there's kind of an in-between road of being like allowing your players to do whatever they want, but also giving them consequences for their actions and making those consequences stick. Anyway, let's continue. It talks about them using a rowboat at the beginning, which you can decide for them to use or not. Like I said, if you want... I mean, like I like to say that you can't use the rowboat until you complete at least one of the jobs first, just to give the characters like more agency. Because, like I said, this I would say the biggest fault of this adventure is that it doesn't really give your characters a whole lot of agency. It kind of does with the backstories, but even then, it's like those backstories, like the agency in them is like kind of contrived, not super important. And with new players, they probably won't even think about them for the most part. They'll just be like, yeah, adventure, let's go to adventure. But like new players probably don't need a whole lot of agency to play a campaign. Agency is basically character motivation, if you didn't know. So like they don't need a whole lot of motivation. They just want to play their characters and adventure around and do cool stuff. But you can do a lot of things like kind of tweak this adventure just to make people be a little more invested in it and make them want to complete the adventure. Because that could be a problem too with new players sometimes. That like they don't even want to do the adventure. They just want to mess around. I'll talk about that more in a later video. Probably. But for now, let's just continue the adventure. Anyway, I'll read this text. Waves lap against a derelict ship lodged against a ridge of rocks and enormous dragon bones. A faint odor of rot wafts on the sea air, along with the sound of screeching seagulls and the roar of the surf. A tangled mess of tattered sails and rigging hangs off the starboard side of the main deck, offering one possible way to climb aboard. At the stern, you can make out a gaping hole in the hull beneath the waterline. So, like, if they're approaching by foot, you might want to say, since there is, like, a water line, you kind of see things beneath. I'm not using Fog of War in this one. These maps don't come with Fog of War on automatically, and so therefore I'd have to, like, uncover everything individually. But since I'm playing and also TMing at the same time, that's not really important, is it? So we want them to swim over. I guess Akumi will go first, saying, let me test it just to make sure we're not about to be attacked by a sea monster, but both of you be ready. Vernon will ready his action to Eldritch Blast. Anything he sees, Stoney will do the same. If anything attacks Akumi, he will throw a javelin at it. But she gets on the deck. As she gets on, she sees this. The moldering wood of the deck is slick with algae and seawater. Amid the tangle of rigging, splintered railings, and stray seaweed, you spot boots, bones, and bits of gore that seem considerably more recent than the wreck of the ship. Stairs lead to upper decks at fore and aft, and doors lead into cabins under those decks. The main mast remains intact and mostly upright, topped with a crow's nest overflowing with debris. A staircase near the mast and a large hatch on the port side both lead down into the hold. Looks deserted. Probably fine to come across. So they both swim across with no hindrance and get on the deck. Stoney's in the heavy armor, but I think that just slows your swimming speed by a half. I don't know, I'll double check that. Heavy armor. Well, I don't see it say anything about that, but it doesn't mean it doesn't. So I'll say it's fine, you just swim in it, whatever. Even though I'm pretty sure if you tried to swim in heavy armor, you would sink like a stone. And he is stony, but I'll say it's fine. Please let me know I'm doing things wrong. Maybe I should look up swimming instead, just to see if it says anything there. I kind of just want to make sure. Items, rolls, movement, swimming. Okay, I don't see anything there either. I don't know. Well, the player characters can do pretty much anything they want now. You know, when they get to this point, they could explore this way or that way, you know. Explore around the ship or go down and keep going down. So I think I will decide kind of randomly what they do. Unlike the other dungeon, which is pretty straightforward because the Myconids are basically pushing all the people to where they want them to go anyway, where you want them to go to, and you can, or you can use the Myconids however you want. But like I think in the adventure, that's kind of how it's explained, that the Myconids don't really know what's going on, but they know it's coming from like that far side, and the adventurers should go investigate. Maybe here the investors are given kind of free rein to just investigate. If they're smart, they won't split up, but some of them might. Since I'm playing all of them. That makes me think maybe I should do something more in like a storytelling way instead of like, this is what they would probably do, you know, because most people probably wouldn't split up, you know, they'd explore each room one at a time as a group like this, you know, but in like a storytelling way, they wouldn't. I don't know, let's have Stony, who's not very intelligent, make an intelligence saving throw. Oh, critical hit. Okay. Stony decided, as the leader, let's stick together. And they explore C5 first, randomly. Which I just decided randomly. I suppose they can roll a die, but... And C5, the galley, a long-dead headless skeleton sits propped up against the counter to the right, but the galley is otherwise empty, unless... Did the skeleton just move? Stony immediately attacks the skeleton. Ah, die, undead horde! He shouts as he swings his sword. A 9 hits the immobile skeleton with no defenses, smashing it to pieces. A family of crabs scatters away, being the thing that you saw moving before. A family of crabs scatters away that had been living in its ribcage, and being the thing you saw moving before. Ah! Threat averted, Stony says, feeling he's done a good job. Kumi rolls her eyes and makes an investigation check as she... Akumi rolls her eyes and makes an investigation check as she looks around for anything else. The 14... With the 14, she discovers that there's nothing here of any value. Oh, let's leave. What are we looking for anyway? Vernon asks. I don't know, something about some bad dream that Renar was having. I think she said there might be something cursed. Maybe there's a cursed object we're looking for. Well, Vernon says, I suppose we should have a look around. And he's going to make an investigation check to see if there's anything. Or I'll just make it a perception check, actually. Even though investigation's way better. 10. With a 10... Okay, in the book, I think it says, like, things are pretty much just plus, minus. You know, you either fail or you pass, and there's nothing else. Very black and white. But mostly because, like, this is like a GURPS thing, I think, and some DMs do it anyway, but I like to do degrees of success. So in this case, I was, like, looking for a 15 for him to, like, notice anything out of it, but with a 10, which is like 2/3 of the way there, right? I mean, like 10's not terrible, but it's not great either, so I'd probably tell you something like kind of middling and let like, notice the ballista up these stairs or something that doesn't really lead to anything. There is a ballista up there, or wait, up, wrong stairs. Up these stairs at the topper deck there. You also smell something in the air, but you're not sure what it is, you know, or something like that. Just that, like, doesn't really give them a whole lot of information and doesn't really hint at anything useful. but does tell them something, right? That said, there's a ballista up there, and there might be something smelly. He's gonna like, I'm gonna smell it some more, you know, and like probably call for another perception check. Like, I'm gonna smell the air some more to see if he does, and I'll do it with advantage, because as soon as he says that, the other's like, we'll smell too. Yeah, let's help with that roll, you know. So with advantage, 16, and he smells something that smells like something rotting. Or, is there anything rotting up there? Again, when I'm DMing, I tend to, like, kind of just make certain things up on the fly, because oftentimes, like, when he investigated there, like, there's technically, it doesn't say anything else is here on the deck outside of the stuff in the crow's nest, but that's when I would start, like, looking for things to talk about otherwise, you know, like, if you got, like, a good roll, I might indicate that he sees a lot of, like, scratch marks on this door that could indicate somebody was in there, somebody clawed their way in there, perhaps, just to indicate, because the interesting stuff is actually in this room, even though there is other stuff to talk about in other rooms, you know, but they're all kind of different depending their level of usefulness. I mean, really what they want to do is go down the stairs. They don't really want to go anywhere here. But mostly because there's zombies in here, I like to lead the characters into there. Or there's like a trap in in this room, I think. I'll double check that. Yeah, in C6. I think people just like battles, and I like running battles, especially against things like zombies, because zombies are really easy to control. I mean, it can be kind of tedious sometimes, and like by this point, because they fought zombies already, maybe I'd switch these up and make them ghouls or something, but we'll just stick to the book. And like I said before, always feel free to make tweaks here and there if you just feel like you want to. You know, if you want, you know, like maybe even though there's nothing in here in this one, you want to like throw some more zombies in here or something, or some skeletons, or maybe that skeleton they just attacked in here, you make like an actual skeleton, and maybe like 3 other skeletons pop out of these barrels as soon as that one becomes activated, you know. Like, feel free to get creative, or add things that don't have anything in there just to make it more interesting. I would say don't overdo it, though. Like, though some people like really grindy dungeons where there's like monsters in every room or traps everywhere. I would say just add a thing here and there if you feel that your adventure needs it. And also play to what your players want for the most part. Whatever you're willing to do that your players also want, I guess. Never go out of your comfort zone. Or, because that goes along with the don't be a doormat, you know. But if you know your players really like combat, you might want to add a couple more combat encounters or something, because I think there's only a few throughout this one. Though the big thing is the harpy at the end, which will come back after they go down to the ship and find the cursed object. Dun dun dun. Anyway. So, I'm going to have Vernon. He'll say, like, actually, I'll be right back. You know, because he wants to just run up and investigate up here. He doesn't see any other monsters. I'd probably just go back to the 10 he rolled before, but he wants to investigate that. And while he's doing that, they'll both, like, climb up to the crow's nest, because that's where they got indication something was maybe a little stinky. Anyway, he comes up here, so I'll do that first. So I guess I did split the party a little anyway. The broken foremast leans out across a broken railing with a tangle of rigging and tattered canvas trailing down to the rocks and dragon bones below. A rusted and rotting ballista stands near the broken mast. As he investigates, he realizes that the ballista no longer works, and much of the floor is rotting here. He goes back down, a little disappointed. Yeah, nothing of interest up there. While he does that, Kumi, I'll have her make a check. Oh wait, is there like an actual... It's a 50-foot climb to the crow's nest. It doesn't actually say this, but it's funny when... Okay, so Kumi will make let's call it an athletics check, or acrobatics, actually it should be acrobatics. 13. With a 13 she's able to climb up the ladder without incident. Just quickly and easily climbs up. It's just my whole theory that most players like to roll. Don't do it too much, I would say, because like I would say with that acrobatics check, I wouldn't like make her do it again to come down and be like, yeah, if you're climbing up, you don't need to. You know how to climb down, you know. Also, I don't call for things. Maybe I should start doing that just so you know I'm not like, well, 13's high enough, you know, or like, well, I was actually asking for 15, so next time I'll be like, I was actually looking for an 11 or more. for that one, so I'll start calling my shots when I do things like that, just so I'm being fair. And on a 10 or less, it wasn't going to be like that detrimental. It's just going to take takes longer for her to get up than normal, and everyone else has to wait around for longer, which might be important if you're really concerned about time in your games, which can be really good sometimes. Maybe if you want to make there be a time constraint here, you could be like, it looks like the ship is about to collapse. You probably only have a few hours before it does to explore, but can only do that if you're like a more advanced DM than I assume you are if you're running this campaign. It's like I said, this is a campaign that's like made for brand new DMs, and it's best for them. But it's you can still run it if you're more advanced. I've done it a few times. Anyway, so Akumi climbs up to the nest, and she finds a stash. It's actually the Harpies stash, but if they discover it the first time on here, I would, you don't want to tell them that it's a Harpy stash. Maybe if they make, like, high enough nature rolls. Like, here, I'll have her a nature roll, but this has to be pretty high. I'll make it 18 or higher in order to... Yeah, she doesn't realize what kind of creature made this stash of, like, just stuff all over. The basket share is stuffed with wood shavings, dry grass, and shredded canvas from the ship's sails. Bits of bone, tufts of hair, and shiny baubles are also visible in the Harpy's nest. Whoops. Don't say Harpy. In whatever made this nest. So she's going to search around. I'll have her make an investigation check and say 8 or higher, because it's like this stuff's there, 8 or higher. She'll find all the stuff. Less than that, she'll only find the gold or the coins and miss the other things. Oh, did I say investigation? Yeah, 11 or more, or 8 or more. 8. She got 8 exactly. Okay, she found all the things. So, gold bracelet. Okay, I did something wrong. Oh, that's not her inventory, that's her inventory. Okay. Bracelet. I'll do like 25. That's how I like to do it. Because usually when I'm just leaving things out to people, at least right now, I'll tell them how much it's worth, or how much it would be worth normally. Because when you're selling things back, you have to haggle most of the time. 25. Old hoop. Earring. Worth 25. It's not important, like after the adventure's done. They can't sell anything in town, because there's no money, there's no currency there. But if you want to continue this campaign with them, this stuff would be important. It's 2 bloodstone with 50 gold pieces. Oh, I guess there isn't any gold here or anything. Huh. For some reason I thought there was, but I guess, depending how good of a roll they get when they investigate, sometimes I'll roll a die and be like, you get that many gold as well. I thought there were some coins up there, but I guess not. Anyway, she climbs back down, it's like, look what I found. It's like, you hold on to it for now. Maybe we'll split it up once this adventure's over, Vernon tells her. And then Stoney's like, yeah, well, let's investigate over here now, just to get this battle started, I say. And they're like, who said that? I don't know, I say. Anyway, they crowd into that room. They're shaded like that because they're on the DM later, or GM later, or whatever. So normally they wouldn't see that, but they come in. I read this description. They come into the captain's quarters. Oh, I forgot about that. Captain's quarters is actually barricaded from the inside, so they can't. They try to force it open, but it's like, this isn't working. I'm gonna break it down, Stody says, and makes a strength check. 10, which is exactly what he needed. Yeah, successful strength check. 10, DC 10 strength check. Alright. The door crashes open to reveal 2 drowned sailors in a cabin that must have been luxurious. A bookcase, half collapsed, holds waterlogged and disintegrating books and scrolls. The polished wood desk leans awkwardly on 3 legs. It has an inert compass set in its center. The bed is covered in rotting bedding and sags in the middle. A jagged hole gapes in the floor beside the bed. The hell? And these zombies... both wandering around. Is there in here? Because they didn't make too much noise before coming in here, and they only need one. But as soon as they see them, they're like, attack! And then, because they're second level, I get to add this zombie to the encounter. That doesn't matter. All these, fine there. Token layer. So 3 more zombies, even though they took care of 3 zombies earlier. I should add 1 more zombie, just make it a little harder. They all roll for initiative. I'll just keep it how it says in the book with 3 zombies. Oh, always clear this because it gets a little funny when I try to add things after that. Okay, so zombies roll for initiative. Yeah, Okay, that's the zombies' turns. Vernon rolls. Stony rolls. And Akumi rolls. Apparently I don't have a character open. Alright, descending. Stony goes first. He'll attack the closest zombie. Die, undead fiend. Critically misses. He like misses so hard he does like a twirl because he's swaying so hard. Ah! And I think he's gonna chance the attack of opportunity from the zombie just to move back a step. Don't want to get surrounded. So the zombie gets a free attack, but it misses. Okay. Zombie's turn. That one. It'll shamble over and attack Stony. And that'll be the only one who can attack him, I think. Yeah. There's a door to them open that far. Okay. Okay, Duke. But that will attack. 12 misses. Vernon, call a shot. Maybe I'll take another step back. Just want to line this up correctly. I need some space. And we'll hex him. It's so big because everything's so tiny here. It's a little model ship that we have to climb onto. So that was a bonus action. But that does take a spell slot. And then Eldritch Blast for his action. That hits. Eldritch Blast for force damage. Hex damage. 4 and 4. So 8 total. Kumi. Can we close her character sheet again? Must have been a mistake. She'll Sacred Flame. 3. Because I should have Guiding Bolt instead. But whatever. Too late now. Dexterity saving throw. Makes it. Alright. Dodge out of the way, stupid zombie. They'll just gather around the door. They can't do anything else. Eager to take that one's place when it falls. Stony will attack. Long sword. 18 to hit for 5 damage. And maybe he'll use a Holy Smite. Wait, how many of those does he have? He has, how many spell slots? Oh, he only has 2 spell slots. I'll wait. So, just 5 damage. Zombie, the one attacking Stony, misses. Whoops. Vernon will keep blasting that one. That hits for 10 damage total. So that one gets to make the Undead Fortitude roll. That didn't work. Okay, do that. Nope. Constitution saving throw. 13. He needed 15 though, so he is dead. Kumi's next. She has to move there to see that one. And she will cast Sacred Flame again. Oh, it's, whatever. That fails, so 4 damage. And then the zombie goes, stands, well, let's move the dead body out of the way. That stands there and attacks, misses. The zombie can't do anything. Stony attacks. That hits, 4 damage, down to 14 health. Zombie, that one's dead. Move from the turn tracker. Vernon transfers his hex as bonus action to that one. And uses Eldritch Blast. That hits for 13 damage total. He's down to 1. Zombie's on his last health. Akumi will Sacred Flame. If this hits, the zombie doesn't get to make his saving throw. It hits, so the zombie's just dead because it's radiant damage. Dead, dead, dead. So that one's put back. Takes from the turn tracker. Last zombie moves over and attacks Stony. Misses. Stony's been hanging in there. And he's gonna attack. Stony will for 6 damage. So it's 16 HP left. Vernon's turn. He'll transfer the hex. And then cast Eldritch Blast. It hits because he only needs 8, but a 10. And with the hex, does... Oh, you know what? I forgot that it also adds his charisma modifier. He should have been doing more damage this whole time, so that does 4 plus 3 plus 3, 10 damage total. Whoops, I forgot. Akumi, Sacred Flame's been working for her pretty well. Ooh, if this hits, it'll kill it outright because it's radiant damage. So dexterity throw, yep, and it is dead. 3 dead zombies in a row. And with that, they will quickly loot the room. Quickly, only because I'm going to end the video soon. So we'll have Vernon investigate with advantage. He has passive investigation, I believe, 15. And the hole leads down to the hold. That can be plainly seen. Doesn't have to investigate for that. But he finds in the desk 2 small drawers in the desk hold a pouch containing 50 gold, cartographer tools, and a dagger. Compass set in the desktop can be easily pried free and is worth 25 gold. because he always has detect magic on him, so he like sees anything that's magical. He sees nothing that's magical, so he's slightly disappointed. But he takes all that stuff, and then we will. Other than that, I'll end the session for today. So he found another dagger. I just said, well, he already has 2. Now he has 3. Compass. I'll call it the the compass. Well, the compass of the compass rose, right? Compass. I won't put how much they're worth. I don't care. For now, I'll just put them on there. Compass, just in case they use them during the adventure, but they can't sell them or anything. It's just like a cartographer's tools and 50 gold. So he now has 60 gold. Yeah, I mean, normally, like, parties, well, normal parties anyway, will, like, split this stuff up as they find it. Some of them might keep carrying some of the items that be like, oh, we'll sell this later, and probably split that money too, or whatever. But some people will try to hide things, in which case they'll make a stealth roll. So maybe Verdun, in this case, attempts to hide that he's stealing the pouch of gold, just like, oh, puts it up his sleeve before anyone else sees it. So I'll make a stealth roll to see if he's able to do that. I'll say it's with advantage because they are distracted, because everyone's searching the room right now. So stealth, or maybe sleight of hand actually. Yeah, it'll be sleight of hand instead. With advantage 15. I think that's higher than either of their passive perceptions. Ukumi has the highest perception, I think. Let's double check. 15, exactly what they need, because she has a +5, so her passive perception is 15. So yeah, I'll just say he's able to sneakily hide that. Okumi kind of like looks at him right after, is like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, nothing, just looking around. Found this compass. Holds up the compass, and that distracts her enough to be like, oh, okay, that's cool. Alright, that'll be the end of this session. And next session, I will send my characters down into the ship. Alright, see you next time. Oh, and I've decided that these episodes are coming out on Tuesdays in the morning, so hopefully I'll see you next time. Good DMing and good gaming, and goodbye.